Have you ever won something and immediately wondered whether one specific person saw it? You become everything they failed to see in you. And before you even enjoy it, you look back to see if they noticed. Because if their reaction decides whether the win counts, they still decide what your life means. That is Rin Itoshi's trap.
This game isn't about Itoshi. This is the game where I finally surpass you!
Rin thinks surpassing Psyche will finally free him from Psyche. But before, he lived to stand beside his brother. Now, he lives to stand above him. The direction changed, but the authority didn't. As a child, Rin did not want to replace Psyche. He wants a place beside him. Psyche gives him a future. Psyche will become the best striker in the world, and Rin can become the best after him. Together, they will win the World Cup. So Rin learns more than football from Psyche. He learns what football is for, being beside him. And you can do this too, without even noticing. You borrow someone else's approval for so long that it starts sounding like your own ambition. Then, Psyche leaves for Spain. 4 years later, he comes home with a different dream. He wants to become the world's best midfielder. To Psyche, the dream changed, but to Rin, the future collapsed. They play the one-on-one, and Rin loses, and the truth underneath it finally comes out. Being with Psyche was why football mattered to him. But Rin does not let his brother go. He just changes the fuel. Admiration becomes revenge. Here is the part that should feel familiar. You can stop loving someone and still keep building your life around them. Before, Rin ran towards Psyche. Now, he runs against him. Either way, Psyche still decides the direction. For Rin, revenge feels like freedom, but it keeps the same judge. That's why the U20 match becomes an appeal. Rin is Blue Lock's #1 player. He scores, and he finally stands across from Psyche. And his language gives him away. It's not, I want to win, but I want to surpass you. And you know this move. You turn the goal into evidence, then imagine how it will feel when that one person finally sees it. In the final minutes, Rin enters flow. He drags out what each defender does best, and then destroys it. Ugly, instinctive, personal. And here's what makes it worse. His football is becoming more his, while surpassing Psyche is still what unleashes it. He's finding himself through the person that he cannot stop measuring himself against. And maybe you know that feeling too. Becoming more yourself, while still hoping that that one person notices. Then, Rin reaches Psyche, the one-on-one. This time, he stops him. The ball breaks free. Isagi reaches it, and Isagi scores, and Blue Lock wins. Then, Psyche walks towards Rin. Rin challenged him, stopped him. His team won. The evidence is all there. And Psyche gives the thing Rin has been chasing all his life to Isagi.
It seems I was mistaken. I didn't think Japan was capable of producing a decent striker. Brother. He was able to awaken your instincts. Maybe he can reform Japan's soccer. Yoichi Isagi. He might actually have what it takes.
Watch Rin. He turns towards Isagi. The target changes, but the wound does not. That is what happens when your life becomes an appeal. You tell yourself you want success, but sometimes what you really want is a reaction. Maybe from a parent who never seemed proud, maybe from a person who rejected you, or maybe a room that wrote you off. So you become disciplined, successful, impossible to ignore. And after every victory, some part of you still looks back and wonders, does it count? I know this engine way too well, because I wrote it down in my own life. I'll earn my way into safety. But that engine can make you powerful. And that is why the trap is dangerous. Proving someone wrong gives pain a direction, but it cannot tell you when the proof is enough. Because evidence only matters while there's still a judge. Because at some point, you have to burn the old ideal. The idea that one person's reaction can finally make you enough. Rin becomes strong enough to challenge Psyche, but becoming strong enough and becoming free were never the same achievement. If Psy's reaction decides whether the victory counts, then even beating him leaves Psy in control. But the real move is not to win the bigger case. It's to just leave the courtroom. You do not need them to reject losing you. You do not need them to finally understand what they failed to see. You only need to stop building a life whose final purpose is making them say it. Because if your life is still the evidence, they are still the judge.